Hey guys, back again with Because of Mr. Terupt. Where we left off was with Anna, silently thanking Mr. Terupt because if it weren't for Mr. Terupt's accident, she and Danielle wouldn't be friends. So she's pretty grateful. She's not grateful that he got hurt and she wishes he hadn't got hurt, but she is really grateful for her friendships with Danielle. So now we're gonna hear from Danielle. And let's just jump in. Here we go. Danielle, I know what it's like to have people gang up on you. Being big, I learned real quick. It stinks. I never thought I'd do that to someone else, but I did. I didn't even realize it. Peter must have felt that no one in the whole wide world liked him. I see it now, but I didn't see it when it was happening, when it mattered most. Not until James and Luke made me open my eyes. Selfishness caused me to be blind. I only thought about how bad I felt. I'm not saying I would have done anything different had I seen it earlier. I'm just glad it changed for all of us. Luke told us that Mr. Terupt is going to have brain surgery. All the girls started crying when he told us that, and the boys didn't make fun of us for it, not like every other time. Luke kept talking. He told us that Mr. Terupt's wrestling and concussions and it not being all Peter's fault. It was an accident, a real honest accident, with lots of us to blame. Luke said that Peter threw the snowball because of him, but he wasn't the only one who got Peter mad that day. Others of us started confessing. I prayed for God to cleanse us all. I hugged everybody at James's party. I was sorry for so much, but really sorry for Peter. Even though we all told him it wasn't just his fault, I think he still felt like it was. I felt bad for Anna too. I hope she wasn't mad at me after what I had told her. I wanted us to still be friends. I also wondered what Charlie's intentions were towards her mother, so I asked him. I found Charlie out in the barn early one morning before school. He was sitting next to one of the cows and pulling her teat to get started for milking. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the word teat, but whatever. Morning, sunshine, he said. What brings you out here? I wanted to know why you went to see Terry Adams, I said. To share a good cup of coffee with a fine woman, he said, and to ask her for forgiveness for the way I treated her when we were in school. Charlie slipped the machine onto the cow's udders and got her milking. Good girl, he said, patting the cow. Then he walked over to the next one, squatted down, and started the process over. Do you think Anna and her mom are bad influences on me? I asked. Nope, but I don't think you should try to change Grandma's or Mom's opinions on that score. Are you going to see Terry again? I'd like to, Charlie said. He stood and moved to the next cow. Charlie had 4 machines, so he could milk 4 cows at the same time. He did the milking every morning and night. Then, are you going to try to change their opinions? Nope, I see no reason to start a family war. You shouldn't either, he said. That's easy for you to say, because you can just drive yourself over there whenever you want. Sooner or later, my teacher won't be in the hospital for any longer. He'll either be back or in the ground, and I won't have any reason to go over to Anna's house. I want to be friends with her and her mother. I like them. Charlie stopped what he was doing and looked at me. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it, he said, and let's continue to pray for that teacher of yours. Do you think he'll make it through the surgery? I don't know, Charlie said. I wish I could tell you, but I only know animals. He walked over to me and wrapped his arm around me, giving me a little squeeze. It's time for you to catch the bus. Go on, have a good day at school, sunshine. He made me smile a little. I hoped I didn't smell too much like the barn. Poor Danielle. All right, we're going to keep going with Jeffrey. If anyone knows silence, it's me. The silence in our classroom wasn't the worst. There was always someone you could turn to and whisper. It contained tons of sadness and guilt, but it wasn't absolute. Even Peter's silence was over. He was lucky. My silence at home pressed on, with nobody for me to turn to and with nobody in sight to rescue me. That silence was absolute. The only company in my house was more sadness and guilt. But somewhere along the way this year, Terupt taught me to see things different, to think about things different, to think about more than just me. It was always my silence and my fault. But now I started to think about Mom's silence and Dad's silence. Mom's fault and Dad's fault. They were hurting too. Why did I have to wait for them to talk to me? I didn't. A few days after James's party, I crept into Mom's bedroom where she lay on the bed in her pajamas. I climbed in next to her and put my arm around her. Then I told her, "It's not your fault. I love you." She didn't do anything, but I lay there and fell asleep, holding my mom. When I woke up, I felt good. I hope my words had helped her. I thought of Terupt as I walked out of her bedroom. He had helped me to reach out. I missed him. I wished I had the chance to tell him how I felt too. I wanted him back so bad. I found Dad sitting in a chair in the family room, better called the be alone room in our house. He was home, so I must have slept for a while. I wondered if he had seen me with Mom. Immediately, I knew it was going to be much harder for me to say those same words to him. We never talked to each other like that, not even before Michael died. Hi, Dad. I sat on the sofa near his chair. I saw you in there with your mother, he said. She needs you, Jeffrey. You might be the only one who can help her. Dad, it's not your fault, I blurted out. He didn't say anything. I knew my words surprised him, that they hit hard. I got up and went over and hugged him. I love you, I said. I let go after a few seconds and headed out of the room. It's not your fault either, Dad said before I was gone. I heard his voice breaking up as he said it. I felt that good feeling again and thought of Terupt. I thought about what my dad said about Mom needing me. I didn't know what else to do, so every day after school, I started going home and resting next to her in bed. It felt like the right thing to do. I tried. Terupt taught me that too. I love Jeffrey. Let's see. We got time for one more. All right. Act 11, Scene 1. Welcome to the hospital waiting room where every face is a concerned face. Who knows what's on the mind of all of these worried people? They keep busy in different ways. Some read, a few watch television, one lady knits. Enter us, the kids from room 202. We sat quietly, kind of looking around, anxiously waiting for the outcome of Mr. Terup's surgery. Was it even okay to talk? I wondered. A lot of other people from school sat waiting, hoping for Mr. Terupt. Mrs. Williams and her red-haired secretary, Mrs. Barton, waited. Mr. Loomis and Mr. Rudy sat and waited. Everyone at school liked Mr. Terupt. That was just another testament to him. Technically, today was a school day, but Mrs. Williams helped us make arrangements to be here. I can't make this a school-sponsored field trip, she told us about a week ago. At that point, we knew when Mr. Terup's surgery had been scheduled, and Mrs. Williams realized our entire class planned to be there. I can't have all of you climb onto a bus and be taken to the hospital, she said. Our parents can drive us there, Anna suggested, and we can help each other with rides. I like that idea, Mrs. Williams said. Then you can leave when you want, or not go at all if you'd rather not. I thought about Jeffrey. Miss Newberry, Miss Kelsey, and Mrs. Warner also came. The school was able to provide substitutes for their classes, but not everyone's. I expect all the teachers would have been here if it weren't a school day. That's when I realized that Mr. Terupt didn't have any family present. Not one person. I thought of his desk back in our classroom. Every teacher has family pictures on his or her desk, not Mr. Terupt. And there were only 2 flower arrangements in his hospital room, one from Miss Newberry and one from Snow Hill School. But no Mom or Dad were sitting next to his bed. How had I missed it? Not one family picture, not one family member visiting or waiting next to me. Did he even have any family? I wondered. Had my mother noticed and not said anything? Had any of my classmates had these same thoughts? All of a sudden, there was so much I didn't know about my beloved teacher. I just wish he'd open up more and give me a chance, I heard Miss Newberry say. She was talking quietly to Mrs. Williams. He was beginning to let me get close. I don't know what he's so afraid of. Or what he's hiding, Mrs. Williams added. I just want the chance, Miss Newberry said. I care about him so much, and so do these kids. He better pull through. I heard Miss Newberry's voice crack. Mrs. Williams put an arm around her. They were quiet. I suddenly had a lot of unanswered questions going through my mind, but none of them mattered if Mr. Terupt didn't make it through the surgery. How long will his operation take? Anna asked. She didn't realize that she had blurted this out until she met our startled looks. Thanks, Anna, I thought, the perfect candidate to break our silence. 8 hours, Luke said. Less if it goes well. More if there are any complications. Silence again. All right, we are going to stop there. And I will see you right back here for Luke's chapter. Looks like we've got some boom, boom, boom chapters coming up. So hold on to your heads for Mr. Terup's surgery. Bye, guys.